Imus in the morning on Sports Radio 66. The Fan, WFAN.
Lord have mercy, mansion.
Lord have mercy, mansion.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Crashing David Dinkens' inauguration shindig. Woo, I'll tell you what, for a while there, I thought I was at the cast party for Dream Girls. So needless to say, my traveling companion left right quick.
Oh, who was with you?
David Duke. Yeah, this beautiful black woman opened the door for us. David turned right around on his heels and threw himself on the FDR drive. Well, hey, I'll tell you what, this is one hellacious hoedown.
Oh, man.
I ain't danced like this since Tip O'Neill held that limbo contest last St. Patty's Day. I'm learning dance steps I can't even pronounce, let alone perform.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Bob, I'm all for this brotherhood stuff.
Yeah.
There's just some things that a white body wasn't meant to do. I am a little disappointed in the food, though.
Oh, what's the matter?
Well, I figured there's going to be some down-home country cooking.
Yeah.
Hell, he got caviar and peasant on the glass.
Whoa.
So I had a few Colt 45s in me, you know. Stood up on a banquet table hollering, "Where's the damn ribs? Give me some chicken wings and rice-a-rona, damn it." Needless to say, that didn't go over very well.
I'll bet not.
Neither did when I tried to get Henry Belafonte to sing the Banana Boat song. Hey, Hank, day-o, dee-dee-day-o.
Oh, God.
Hey, you'll never guess who's parking cars.
Oh, who?
Rudy Giuliani.
Rudy.
Yeah, I about peached one off of my shorts when I saw that. I tell you what, though, he's happy as a pig in to be getting to work.
I bet.
And guess who's the men's room attendant?
I don't know.
Eddie Koch. Yeah, he's working for the tips. He come out about 20 minutes ago going, "How am I doing?" Check this out.
Yeah.
I've been hanging with these real nice dudes from this band, what you call them, Run DMC.
Right.
They gave me some sunglasses, Kangol cap, and a Cadillac medallion. Made me an honorary DJ. Word. Hey, darling. Yo, homegirl, come over here. Don't believe what they say about white guys. Check this out what I got here. I got what it takes to be an honorary brother.
John.
Lesbian. Well, anyway, I got to go. The guy's going to take me uptown.
Yeah.
Woo! Hey, Run, take my claim check. Go get my Mustang from the valet park, would you, boy? Hey, it's just an expression. I call everybody boy, all right? Word, ma'am. And, hey, you want to laugh? Try and get the attendant to say, "She sells seashells by the seashore."
Why don't we try to get you to say it?
Imus in the morning.
Hey, my name is Manny, and I'm a cross-addicted alcoholic. Hi, Manny. Jesus. I really don't know what I'm doing here at an AA meeting. I mean, I don't got it a problem. But my lawyer thinks it's a good idea, so I guess the way these things run is you start your story from the beginning. It started out, I chew on fermented sugar cane when I was a kid, you know. And then when I was 11, I had my first Corona. Next thing I know, I'm kicking a $350,000 a day coke habit on the floor of a convent, going to mess twice a day just to get a sip of wine. And what's worse, I'm no longer the f***ing boss. I guess I always felt insecure. I wasn't very good looking as a kid, as tough as that may be to fathom. As a matter of fact, I had a bad complexion problem. And kids, you know how cruel they can be. Pizza face, they call me. Pineapple face, they call me. Emmanuel, the man in the moon. But now, I'm 51 years old. They still call me Pineapple Puss. And I'm stuck in a jail cell singing "Nobody Knows the Trouble I Seen" and pressing my ass up against the wall. Anyway, I would just like to thank my sponsor, Mrs. Dukakis. And I got a question. When do I get to meet this guy, Bill Wilson?
Imus in the morning.
In the morning. I can still do it, Dono.
You can. So, well, first of all, how are you?
Well, if I can be truthful, Dono, as you know, there's a question whether I can be or not. I'm not too well, Don. You know, I've enjoyed something of a political resurrection in recent years. I'm viewed now as an elder statesman. My opinions are sought on the major world events. And speaking of that, have you been following all this East European jazz?
I have. Pretty amazing.
Boy, it blew my mind, I'll tell you that. And did you see the story that Dwight Eisenhower's granddaughter is marrying a Soviet scientist? Did you see that?
I did. I saw that, too.
Jesus, can you explain to me how that happened? I mean, You suppose he knocked her up or something? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, that reminded me of my own daughter, you know, Julie, marrying that geeky grandkid of Ike's. David, I think his name is. You know, the kid with the rotary lawnmower teeth and the Dumbo ears. What a jackass. Jesus.
You sound like you may be
Well, of course I do, Don. I mean, just...
sorts this morning.
Well, consider here, I'm the only president ever hounded out of office by a congressional feeding frenzy. I'm 77 years old. I'm married to a skeleton. And the only friends I've got left are you and a bunch of Chinamen. Jesus, wouldn't you be depressed? Anybody would. I mean, look at me, Dono. I'm gray. I've got gray hair. I sag like yesterday's laundry. And worst of all, Pat's waiting for me out in Jersey. Jesus.
Well, I mean, we all get older.
Well, of course, but before I check out, I want some young, hot honey, Don. You know what I mean?
Pardon me?
Well, I know that you're taken aback by that admission of mine, but I'm going to lay my cards out here on the table for you, Don. I want a wild thing. You know what I mean? Say, you getting that eucalyptus goo?
For your phlebitis?
Hell no, for my Johnson, if I may invoke the name of another past president. My congressional member here. You know what I mean? I think the darn thing's dead. Now, maybe if I rub some eucalyptus on it, it'd perk up. Or maybe if Michelle Pfeiffer would rub some of it on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what good would it do anyway? I mean... Have you seen Pat lately?
Well,
I mean, is that a candidate for catastrophic health insurance or what? A horror show, huh, Don?
Well, I think the First Lady is lovely.
Oh, get off it. She looks like Andy Warhol.
Well,
no.
I think that'll be fine.
Well, I tell you, the world leader who I admire most at this point, you want to know who that is?
Yeah.
It's Noriega.
Who?
Noriega. He's my kind of guy. No nonsense. Take charge. I like that kind of it.
Well, thanks very much, sir.
Wish I had done that back there in 74.
You've done what?
Run into the papal nunciary. Let them deal with that, huh? Should have grabbed a couple of nuns and said, all right, Sam Urban, come in and get me, you frightwig eyes.
Well,
come on.
Mr. Nixon, happy birthday, and it's been great having you as our guest, and please come again.
Well, I'd like to, but that's why I need the eucalyptus.
Imus in the morning.
It's 22 after 6,000.
The papal nuncio threw me out. I'm in the custody of the government of the United States of America. So I guess it's time for...
Gracie Manny's biggest going out of business sale ever! That's right. The U.S. government's got me behind bars. I haven't done a line of coke in about a month. My legal fees are gonna be a zillion dollars, so I gotta liquidate my assets now. I'm selling out the entire inventory of the presidential palace to the bare walls. Everything must go. No reasonable offer will be refused. If you need anything in the way of illicit narcotics, drug paraphernalia, small firearms, natural secrets, computers, farm equipment, priceless works of art, anything, shop around, get the best possible price, then bring it to Gracie Manny, and I'll beat 'em. My prices are insane. And you know why? I'm crazy. Really, mentally unstable. I'm not thinking straight. I don't know what the I'm doing. I'm running scared. I'm strung out. So everything goes lock, stock, and barrel. Do you need speedboats, helicopters, voodoo altars, tanks, an army, a canal, an entire Central American country? Come to Gracie Manny, cause I need the dough. I'm desperate. Make me an offer, cause I don't got a pot to in. Buy something. Money talks and bullshit works. The boss has lost his mind, but my loss is your gain, cause it's my biggest going out of business sale ever. I'll beat any price, and if I can, I'll beat the shit out of you. Buy now and receive a beautiful 12-inch, fully pulsable Adolf Hitler doll free. Gracie Manny, my prices are insane.
Imus in the morning.
Takes a look at the Clarence Thomas Anita Hill mess. All right,
It's
champ.
the new thing, overnight sensation, primetime politics, heinous reprobation, making accusation, tell it to the nation, stand back and watch all the public titillation. Hill's revelation, cause investigation, coming as it did on the eve of confirmation. What's the implication? Miscommunication, or did he get Reuben? She declined his invitation. Her allegation of the violation, viewed by most as a mere fabrication. But when you take a good long hard evaluation, long dong silver ain't no exaggeration. Commiseration, righteous indignation, trying to make the best out of a bad situation. information, going on and on about his trials and tribulations. What's that he found on his favorite live patient? He made it by a hair. You know, made it by a hair. You know, he made it by a hair. You know, he made it by a hair. That's how he got in. Made it by the hair of his chinny chin chin. Busted. Made it by a hair. You know, made it by a hair. You know, made it by a hair. That's how he got in. Made it by the hair of his chinny chin chin. Each delegation had interrogation, follow most times by some boring postulation, group stimulation, Senate masturbation. I need a gate is what they gave the population. What's the motivation? Where's the information? All we get is wild speculation, hate-filled debate over Thomas' nomination. Orrin and Teddy have a little altercation. Much elation, cause for celebration. President is happy about the Clarance confirmation. No ovation or even admiration for one who spoke a mind in the face of defamation. TV, movie, made for syndication. These events were real, not some bad dramatization. In summation, for your consideration, I suggest the Senate undergo some fumigation. Made it by a hair. Made it by a hair. Made it by a hair. That's how he got in. Made it by the hair of his chinny chin chin. Busted. Made it by a hair. You know. Made it by a hair. You know. Made it by a hair. That's how he got in. Made it by the hair of his chinny chin chin. He made it by a hair. You know. You know, made it by a hair. You know. Imus in the morning.
States Ambassador to the United Nations, Gene Kirkpatrick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What a week it has been.
All right.
First and foremost, the bruising political brawl over sex, race, and stereotypes that finally culminated in the razor-thin confirmation of Clarence Thomas to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The Thomas dramatics overshadowed other issues that, at any other moment, would have seized our attention.
Right.
An economy continuing in deep stagnation. Conflict in the breakaway republics of the fallen Soviet Union.
Fine.
Renewed hope for a negotiating watershed in the Mideast. Jimmy Swaggart caught with a passenger-side airbag named Rosemary in Indio. So with all of that competing for our consideration, famine, pestilence, disease, Jane Fonda behind the Braves dugout, may I pose this question?
Sure.
Do we need a major news-gathering organization, ABC Television, feeding the bloated ego of an aging, rum-drenched, pelican-necked New York disc jockey who's on the back nine of a career based on going, nyeh, 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 nyeh? Well, pardon me, but I don't nyeh, 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 think so. ABC's primetime live geniuses with an infomercial for Imus in the morning that would embarrass an Amazing Discoveries audience as another in a long list of Ted Shaker, totified, suck-up artists, climbs into the sack with the Iron Man. Who's the latest? The executive producer of Primetime, Rick Kaplan. And way to go, Rick. Way to find a shortcut to becoming 60 Minutes. Chris Wallace with a go-to-the-mat expose of the exploding coffee maker menace, followed up by 20 minutes of a fairy interviewing Imus. Hey, hold that Emmy and move over Don Hewitt. You just better get the out of the business, babe. Honest to God. What do you suppose they're thinking about, huh? They got a top 50 program, and they're like trying to get it into the top 60? Who the knows? The Imus Profile, the most humiliating example of poverty of creativity to hit a videotape since Steve and Eileen's wedding. A piece that makes that pastry pudding pap dished out by New York Magazine look like a damned FBI background report. Imus, adopting every politically correct trick of the moment. For women, against women. Love Bush, hate Bush. Breslin sucks, but boy, can he write. Stick with sanctions. Drop the bomb. Me. You. Save the whales. Sleep with the fishes. I mean, who the hell can tell with this idiot, huh? Oh, by the way, here's something on my mind now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Gene Kirkpatrick to Native Americans. Hey, whining arrow, you lost the country 500 years ago. Get over it. And another thing, enough with this sexual harassment crap, if I may quote Senator Alan Simpson. Because I'm figuring at my age, if somebody comes into the office and wants to play a little grab ass, my day's off to a pretty good start. And that's worldview, Imo, from someone who has her own interpretation of just what the Bush administration ought to mean, Gene Kirkpatric. Thank you very much.
Imus in the morning.
Uh-huh. Ooh, very, very less fun.
Here on the Imus in the Morning program, nationally syndicated gossip columnist Liz Smith. Good morning, Liz.
Good morning, Chief Running Sponge. The latest in tell-all books comes from the most unlikely of places. Wilt Chamberlain, the 7-foot-tall former NBA star who could be mistaken for Grace Jones if not for the bushy goatee. I know what you're thinking, but no, he hasn't shaved. It's called A View from Above, but what it provides most is the view from below. And believe me, they didn't call him Wilt the Stilt because of his height on a basketball court. Wilt says he has had sex with, get this, 20,000 women. That's right, 20,000. Or, if you're good at math, approximately 1.2 women every day since he was 15 years old. I'm not impressed by the 20,000 figure, but I do wonder about the 1.2. How do you make love to 2/10 of a woman? Concentrate only on her toes? Maybe you just get her 20% excited. Anyway, in addition to providing some gripping reading, it seems that Wilt has given us a new numerical value for a lick and a promise. And a promise is what Clarence Thomas made, only because nobody could lick him. I was present as he was sworn in as an Associate Supreme Court Justice in a lavish ceremony in Washington last Friday. And as he raised his right hand and took the oath, there wasn't a dry eye to be found, let alone a seat. All the weeping and gnashing of teeth aside, immediately afterwards we all got right into the swing of things at the garish bash George Bush held in Judge Thomas's honor at the White House. And when I say bash, I mean bash, as Professor Anita Hill seemed to be the recipient of most of the tasteless locker room humor that abounded the proceedings. Forget the cocktail waiters on the flesh-colored pogo sticks, the inflatable sex dolls hung from the ceiling like piñatas from Caligula, or the numerous barnyard animals trussed up in fashions from Fredericks of Hollywood. The giant papier-mâché hair on the punch bowl was a little too baroque a statement, even for Ted Kennedy's taste, who, by the way, spent most of the evening wandering around the party with his pants around his ankles, alleging that he's the reason First Lady Barbara's eyes bug out the way they do. There are 3 kinds of people in this world, he said to anyone who would listen. Some doers, some watchers, and those who like to watch me drink some doers. The evening came to a fitting end when the man of the hour, Judge Thomas himself, lifted his robe to show us his knot-tying prowess, then proceeded to sodomize the chopped liver mold sculpted in the shape of Long Dong Silver. Quel dommage.
Imus in the morning.
Liz Smith.
Imus